A common scenario in organizations is that employees get security training every year. They click through a series of slides about password security, phishing. They answer a few multiple choice questions and they get their completion certificate, and the box is checked and the compliance is achieved, and then nothing changes. We want to figure out why traditional security awareness programs fail and what can work to transform your employees from security liabilities into active participants in your organization's defense. There are four predictable reasons that are cited and known for identifying why traditional training fails. There's no real mental engagement because a lot of times they've got the same generic slide decks every year and content seems irrelevant and people just kind of tune things out and click next on autopilot. The second reason is that annual training is infrequent and creates what researchers call the forgetting curve. Within days, people only retain a fraction of what they learned, and by the time the next quarterly phishing test arrives, the training content has long faded. The third reason is that disconnection from the daily work. Abstract warnings about malware don't translate when employees are rushing to meet deadlines. Training is happening in a vacuum separate from the actual moments where security decisions get made. And the most important reason, the fourth reason, is that people are focusing on compliance checkboxes rather than behavioral change. The goal is get everyone to take the training, not get everyone to actually change what they do. And organizations will commonly confuse information delivery with behavior change. They might assume that if people know the right thing to do, then they'll do it. Stanford behavior scientist B.J. Fogg identifies exactly why this assumption is wrong. In his book, Tiny Habits, he wrote, "Information alone does not reliably change behavior. This is a common mistake people make, even well-meaning professionals. The assumption is this: if we give people the right information, it will change their attitudes, which in turn will change their behaviors." He called this the information action fallacy. So people often assume that teaching someone what a phishing email looks like will automatically make them stop clicking those links, but knowledge does not equal action. For example, everyone knows they need to exercise and eat vegetables. The information exists, the behavior often doesn't follow. So effective security engagement requires designing for behavior change. There are 5 approaches that are known to change how people think and act regarding security. Role-specific relevant training is the first of these. Instead of generic content for everyone, customize training to the actual job functions. Your finance team needs different scenarios than your developers. When people see threats that relate to their actual work, they pay more attention. Make a connection. Second, there are positive reinforcement programs. Catch people doing things right. Celebrate the reports of suspicious emails. Celebrate 6 months without a security incident. It's not just rewarding behavior, it's signaling to the entire organization what good looks like. Third is gamification that doesn't feel gimmicky. Leaderboards for phishing report rates, badges for completing security challenges, and friendly competition between departments. If it's done well, gamification taps into intrinsic motivation. If it's done poorly, it just feels condescending. The key is making it genuinely engaging rather than just adding points to boring content. Fourth, security champions networks. Identify enthusiastic employees in each department who become your frontline security advocates. They're not IT, they're peers who speak the language of their teams and can answer questions in the moment. This distributed model scales your security culture in ways that a central team never could. And fifth, communication strategies that keep security visible without creating fatigue. Regular micro-learnings instead of annual marathons. Quick tips in meetings, timely alerts when relevant threats emerge, with the goal of making security part of the conversation rather than an interruption to it. These approaches share something fundamental. They all meet employees where they are rather than expecting them to care about security for its own sake. Most employees do not wake up thinking about protecting the organization's data. They wake up thinking about their projects, their deadlines, and their career goals, what's going to support their life. Security is not their job, it's just an addition to their job. Effective engagement recognizes this reality. Instead of lecturing people about why security matters in the abstract, you make secure behaviors easy. So the right choice is the default choice. You make security behaviors relevant so they see how it connects to their actual work. Make secure behaviors rewarding so they feel good about making secure decisions. And make secure behaviors social so they see their peers doing it as well. When you design for how people actually behave rather than how you wish they'd behave, that's when you're going to get results. In order to identify if your engagement efforts are producing real change, you want to look beyond completion rates. You know people finish the training, but that's the table stakes. Measure behavior indicators like are phishing report rates increasing? Is the time to report decreasing? Are fewer people clicking on simulated phishing tests over time? And track cultural signals. Are employees asking security questions before making decisions? Are they raising concerns about suspicious activity? And are managers reinforcing security messages in team meetings? And you can survey for engagement. Do employees understand why security matters, not just what to do? Do they feel empowered to make security decisions? And do they know who to ask when they're uncertain? Perfect compliance metrics are not the goal. The goal is building an organization where secure behavior is the norm rather than the exception. The downloadable Security Employee Engagement Toolkit for this lesson gives you templates for role-specific training design, positive reinforcement programs, gamification frameworks, and measurement dashboards. In the next lesson, we'll explore how to measure cultural change in your organization.